Life can be an absolute whirlwind, isn't it? I mean, between work, relationships, and just the endless daily grind, it is incredibly easy to feel completely overwhelmed by stress and responsibilities. We all genuinely want to be the best versions of ourselves, but when you're caught right in the middle of that storm, self-improvement can feel like just another massive chore on a never-ending to-do list. But, it really doesn't have to be. Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a fascinating, highly structured approach to self-improvement we've curated from our sources. We are going to explore some highly actionable, proven steps to becoming a better person, starting from the inside and working our way out. So rather than just throwing a random list of 15 tips at you, we've mapped these actionable steps into a 4-part logical journey. We'll start with phase 1, the inner foundation, move into phase 2, mastering your emotions, look outward in phase 3, connecting with others, and finally wrap up with phase 4, embracing continuous growth. All right, let's jump right into phase 1, the inner foundation. Before you can be better for anyone else, you absolutely must build a strong, authentic, personal baseline. Okay, let's dive into this. The fundamental rule here is that you simply cannot pour from an empty cup. Before you can be a better person for anyone else around you, you have to hit these non-negotiable self-care essentials, getting at least 7 hours of sleep, nourishing your body with whole foods, and exercising for just 30 minutes every single day. Look, if you don't give your body the proper rest and nutrition it needs, you literally won't have the biological energy to serve yourself, let alone the patience to serve others. Your physical health is the engine that drives your whole mental and emotional well-being. Now, building on that physical foundation, we turn to emotional self-care, specifically cultivating self-compassion. The source material outlines 3 incredibly powerful steps. First, pretend you're writing a supportive letter to a good friend who is going through whatever struggle you are currently facing. Notice how much kinder you are to them than to yourself. It's eye-opening. Second, speak positive affirmations in the mirror. Something as simple as, "I am safe" or "I am smart." And third, analyze your weaknesses without harsh criticism. Actually, scratch that. It's not just about analyzing. It's about rationally acknowledging your flaws. Everyone has them, but understanding where your inner critic comes from and proving it wrong with logic creates the deep emotional stability you absolutely need to grow. Moving right along, we shift our focus to phase 2, mastering your emotions. This is all about how we handle life's inevitable friction and daily frustrations. Life is full of friction, and how we handle it really defines our character. In a pretty fascinating reader poll from our source data, when asked how they respond to negative emotions, nearly half of the respondents, 48%, admitted they just lash out at others. And honestly, this beautifully normalizes anger. Feeling angry is a completely natural human emotion. The goal here isn't to never feel angry. There's no way you can do that. The goal is to stop it from hindering your compassion. Instead of lashing out, we need to actively redirect that energy. That might mean stepping away to do some yoga, maybe punching a pillow, or simply taking deep belly breaths and visualizing a joyful memory. You can't control the situation, but you absolutely entirely control your attitude. And this brilliantly illustrates how building patience in those incredibly frustrating moments really comes down to the art of reframing. It's about turning those highly relatable inconveniences into unexpected positives. If the pizza delivery is running late, it's not a total disaster. It just means you've got more time to pick out the perfect board game for family night. If your computer forces a surprise update right when you sit down to work, not a crisis. That is 5 unexpected minutes to play with the dog or take a quick walk. Savoring these slow moments completely diffuses your frustration because you are literally rewiring how your brain perceives an interruption. Now, when those emotions involved other people, how you express them makes all the difference in the world. Think about it. If you say, "You never listen to me anymore," you immediately put the other person on the defensive, right? But swap that aggressive phrasing for a respectful I statement, like, "I feel my concerns aren't being heard," and you drastically improve your chances of conflict resolution. You're thoughtfully articulating your emotion without pointing the finger of blame, which completely disarms the tension. It's a real game changer. Sometimes mastering your emotions means letting go entirely. Forgiveness is incredibly powerful. The past is in the past, and dwelling on it just traps you there. You need to forgive your own mistakes, recognize what they've taught you, and forgive those who've hurt you. But you might be wondering, what's in it for you? Well, forgiving others doesn't just mend relationships. Science actually shows that dwelling on past wrongs actively increases your blood pressure and heart rate. So, forgiveness provides a very real, tangible physical health benefit by lowering your physiological stress and giving you peace of mind. Okay, shifting our narrative outward now, we reach phase 3, connecting with others, focusing on how we interact with society. So, have you ever heard of the helper's high?
It's a verified psychological concept, and it is fascinating. It's the literal rush of endorphins and the massive boost in mood you experience when you perform altruistic acts for other people. Volunteering at a local shelter, picking up trash at a park, or even just leaving a kind sticky note on a public bathroom mirror that says you're beautiful. These acts fundamentally benefit your own happiness just as much as the receiver's. Helping others is basically a brilliant biological hack for your own joy.
To make those connections stick, we need daily habits. Step 1, avoid making assumptions about people. Try to actually walk in their shoes to build real empathy. Step 2, keep a daily gratitude journal. Highlighting the things you're thankful for every single day, no matter how big or small, literally shifts your brain's focus toward positivity. And step 3, share what you're thankful for with others. If your brother helps you move a heavy couch, explicitly tell him how much you appreciate it. Actively combining empathy with a daily practice of gratitude prevents isolation and builds lasting, incredibly compassionate relationships.
And that brings us to our final step, phase 4, embracing continuous growth. Let's look toward the future. We've built the foundation, we've mastered our emotions, and we've connected with others. Now, to keep evolving, you have to challenge yourself and step into the unknown. Comfort zones are great, sure, but they can quickly lead to stagnation. So, set positive, obtainable short and long-term goals to give yourself a sense of purpose. Constantly educate yourself, read nonfiction, listen to new podcasts about mental health or business, take an online class, and finally, create an out-of-comfort-zone bucket list. It doesn't have to be crazy like skydiving. It can be as simple as trying a brand new coffee shop routine or just taking a different route to work. The more you learn and experience, the more your perspective expands. As our source material so wisely reminds us, the journey of self-improvement isn't a straight path. It bends and twists when you least expect it. I really want to reassure you that as you grow, your goals might change, and that is completely normal. In fact, it's a sign of psychological health and progress. You wouldn't be adopting if you didn't want to improve. So roll with those punches and just focus on the present moment. We've walked through the inner foundation, emotional mastery, human connection, and lifelong growth. Now, it is time to put this into practice. So, I have a question for you. Which small act of kindness will you choose today? Will you write that supportive letter to yourself? Will you reframe a late delivery into a positive? Or will you leave a kind note for a complete stranger? The framework is all yours. I challenge you to pick just one thing right now, today, and start your journey.